Okay, so giddy up. This is our third horse when we're talking about defensiveness. Now, defensiveness, I guess, can be defined as a form of self-protection, of righteousness, indignation, or innocent victimhood in an attempt to ward off a perceived attack. And often this will happen when we're not feeling safe in a relationship because our subconscious always wants to keep us safe. And sometimes we feel like we have to be defensive for how or what's gone on, and it just becomes this default position as well. And many people become defensive when they feel like they are being criticized. But the problem is that being defensive never helps to solve a problem at hand. Defensiveness is really a way of blaming your partner. You're saying that the problem isn't me, it's you. As a result, the problem is not resolved and the conflict escalates even further. So, the antidote to that is to take responsibility, to own it. Look, honestly, we're all going to fuck up and make mistakes. No one's perfect, right? So, when we can take responsibility for our own actions, because that's all we can do, right? That's game changing. And when we accept responsibility, even if it's only part of the conflict, that can be enough. So an example of defensiveness could be something like, well, it's not for my fault we're going to be late. It's your fault since you always get dressed at the last second or take too long in the shower or get distracted on social media. So what about this? And we said it something like this, that, well, I don't like being late, but you're right. We don't always have to leave so early. And I need to be, or I can be, a little bit more flexible with the timings. So by taking responsibility for part of the conflict, trying to leave too early, even while asserting that they don't like to be late, this partner prevents the conflict from escalating by admitting their role in the conflict. From here, the couple can work towards a compromise. The C word of relationships, compromise. And also, instead of always trying to stay in that conflict, because sometimes a lot of people don't want to compromise because they would rather be right than be happy. And sometimes you can't be both. So just think about what's more important to you and what's going to bring more peace and calm to that moment and some harmony. And sometimes all that matters is how we're going to show up in that moment for our partner to meet their needs. Because what if that's just what they need from us right now, and that's being that bigger person? So that's a bit of a wrap on defensiveness, and I'll be back to talk about stonewalling.